What's up, guys? It's Jaws the Rat, and I'm here to bring you the end-of-month update for Project Fighters. So what have we been up to this past month? We have been working a lot on the user interface and main menu stuff, a lot of online-related things going on, the game mode that is going to be coming with Prototype 1 has been worked on, save states, progression states for the player. A lot of stuff has been worked on. Not a lot to show because a lot of it is under the hood related, but what we can show you is the main menu and menu related things that have been worked on. The game mode, which is going to be King of the Hill, is still being worked on. We don't have a map yet. We have a very basic kind of test map to test out how it functions and make sure everything works. What I'll also show is a tutorial level that will load in, and you'll be able to pick a character. Now, the tutorial, you'll be forced to play as Sonic to learn the controls and kind of some basic ideas and stuff of the game, and the tutorial is optional. It's just so that I can show you that we do have a character select screen before you load into a match. All of it still needs to be straightened out in terms of how it's coded and how it functions when things pop up, and etc., etc. So let's just jump right into it. So as you can see, we're going to have a start screen where you can enter your username, and then you click start. After you do this, we're going to save it to the save file, and so every time you log on or into the game, every time you launch it, it's going to immediately check your save file and log you in based on your username. Will you be able to change this? There's going to be a process where we might create multiple save files. We'll give you an option even in like the settings maybe where you can change your username if you want to, stuff like that. But for now, it's just going to be one username. You sign in, and now all your saves and stuff is going to be associated with that username. So what we've done is we've created a server browser, and we've created a lobby for when you host the game. So we're going to go ahead and host a game as Jodge, the username Jodge. As you can see, my username is right here. This lobby user interface is not fully fleshed out and not fully finished. There's still a lot of stuff that needs to be done here, and it's even going to be reworked, this menu. But in this menu right now, you can select a mode. We have all the modes here that is kind of planned to be implemented or worked on by the end. But the only one that you can play right now that's going to be coming with Prototype 1 is King of the Hill. So when you select King of the Hill, you'll get the map image, and you'll see the mode name and the map name. We'll give you the option when we reach further down, probably Prototype 2, that you can select your map and perhaps even adjust player count. Other settings aren't really in the deck of cards right now. Start game does not function right now in this version of the lobby menu, but what I wanted to show was that we can search for this in the server browser. So if we log in as Shadow and we start the game, we're in the main menu, and we go to server browser, it's going to search for that one game that we have. And as you can see, the username Jodge is hosting a game. He's the only person there out of 12, right? And his ping is 38. So, and then you can join the session. Join session does work, but the system for when you join isn't, fully finished yet. And you can refresh this to look for more. We have a limit right now of like 100 servers that will pop up here, but I doubt there's going to be 100 different servers playing. It's just for now that was what was decided on. But if you click join session, it's going to load and then place you in the lobby. So technically speaking, we are in the same lobby. But like I said, because this menu isn't been, fleshed out and designed for, if someone joins, they're going to see what the host is set up or whatever. You don't even see the host. They get added to this main slot here. That's part of things that need to be worked on. That's part of stuff that needs to be fixed. They can even select a mode if they wanted to, which only the host should be able to, right? So that's what we've got as far as menus go, and as far as a lot of the kind of what's going on under the hood. It all looks very simple, but it was quite a bit of a process to learn, what it takes to get stuff like this to happen. Nowadays, I've learned a lot after doing this stuff, so it is kind of like, okay, I kind of have an idea of what's going to be necessary to make this happen. But if we go to tutorial, you can see we have a character select screen here. You're supposed to just load in as Sonic, that's why Sonic is here, but as you can see, we also can now choose a character. Knuckles and Cream are not in the game. These are placeholders to kind of just show you, we can add as many characters as we want and change their names and their types, speed, and all that. This is a very streamlined process of setting something up like this now, because of the way that we've set it up. Same goes for a lot of things, like I said, after I've learned quite a bit. So we're going to select Sonic, and we spawn in as Sonic, right? And we can run around, slide, we get all the abilities. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now, what we've worked on for this month. A lot of user interface stuff, a lot of menu related stuff. What needs to be done next? It's a combination of things, and I've said in the server, in the Discord server, that it's kind of on a case-by-case basis. What do I want to work on today? What needs to be worked on so I can do what I want to do that day? Is there something that needs to be learned or understood? And yeah, it's just been a long process this month of learning more things, gaining more understanding. But what's on the to-do list is getting Shadow Online ready, getting a map made for King of the Hill, finish the menu user interface stuff, get the lobbies to be online ready, fixing the game mode for King of the Hill so that it can be played, and then I guess some minor polish, if there is any minor polish that needs to be done. Overall, though, I'd say we're in a pretty good spot. Overall, I'd say we're in a pretty good spot. It's not easy what I'm doing right now, but what I will say is that I'm having a great time. It's been so much fun getting all this stuff sorted. Yeah, we're working hard. We're getting through this. When will Prototype 1 come out? I'm not gonna put any dates on that. I don't want to put any dates on that, and I don't want to feel like I need to be pressured to put out a Prototype 1. Especially with now all this stuff that's kind of been put on the plate of what needs to be done to just make it function properly and have some very basic stuff. At the end of the day, Prototype 1 needs to represent the foundation of what's going to be coming in the future, right? And kind of lay the foundation so I can build onto it more characters, fix user interfaces, because I want Prototype 3 to kind of be a near finished product. And I want Prototype 3 to have lots of characters. I want Prototype 3 to be playable. I want you to have your player profile. I want all this stuff to be done for Prototype 3. So in order to do that, Prototype 1 has to be probably the one aspect of this process that needs the most work. It needs the most attention to detail. So that way, Prototype 2 is just about, fixing some bugs, adding more characters, working on more maps, figuring out other game modes. And then Prototype 3 is about completely fleshing out the character list, completely fleshing out the game modes, and fleshing out the maps. And so, as you saw, there were quite a few game modes. What the plan is right now is to have that nice handful of game modes and then figure out, okay, which ones do we really want to keep as like the main game modes of this project. So we'll see what happens. Which one conceptually sounds the most fun, and then which one in practice plays the most fun. And so Prototype 2 will probably be where we are like, okay, we have a game mode with a map, And the 5 game modes are each going to have a map, and you can play on all 5 of them, and we can take feedback on which game mode was the most fun, so that way we know what to drop and what to keep. Because I'm thinking 3 game modes at most for something like this. 3 game modes at most. Having 5 game modes is cool, but I think at the end of the day we could easily streamline the game modes to be more focused. And, you know, after we release or have like a 1.0 launch or a 0.0 launch, a 0.1 launch, we can start talking about, okay, should we add more game modes or revisit the other game modes that we had to finesse them to be more fun or come up with something new. Anyway, that's pretty much it for now. I'm going to get back to work. I will catch you guys next time.